An issue in Jacksonville Beach that's getting too big to ignore.
You can see probably if you look at the police records and all, at least 1/3 of the problems that we see are with the homeless.
Good evening, everyone. The mayor of Jacksonville Beach says he wants people to live, work, and visit his city without being accosted by homeless people.
Well, tonight, the Jacksonville Beach City Council heard from people who live at the beach and want something done about the people who make the streets their home.
You took my life, my money, and my will. You are evil, but you will not get the best of me. I will fight you tooth and nail. Day and night, you will not take my soul. I will not let you get your hooks in me again. I'm stronger, better, and smarter. My inner light has been restored, and your darkness will not take that away from me. I've been freed from your grasp. You are the devil in pill form.
The mission of Hope at Hand is to provide art and poetry therapy to underserved populations. We use creativity, language arts, literature circles, and art therapy techniques to provide healing.
Robert Frost said that poetry lifts suffering to a higher plane of regard. It doesn't make it better, but it gives us appreciation for the trials and tribulations that people go through. And so poetry is a very powerful way of people dealing with their pain and their anger. Poetry lifts suffering to a higher plane of regard. It makes it matter to us so much more.
We're currently partnering with 9 organizations. 1 is in Orlando and 8 are here. We're with Hubbard House, Center for Domestic Violence, Sulzbacher Homeless Shelter. We are at Pace Center for Girls. We have drug rehab teens at Gateway Health Systems. We have a new group with incarcerated female juveniles in the pretrial detention facility, to name a few. In 2010, we began providing services and reached 110 people with just 1 facilitator. This past year, in 2012, we had 6 facilitators and reached over 600 people. We always include the poetry that the participants write, because they tell their story way better than we can. Most of them are very raw and unedited. There's all kinds of mistakes in there, and that's really not the point. Here's a sample called Nostalgia. I have a hateful feeling in my heart, but I don't know why. So filled with anger, I can't even cry. Depressed for no reason, so I don't want to try. So easily aggravated, the pain makes my eyes dry. Feeling nervous or anxious, not trying to be another case of mentally ill. Trust me, my feelings are real. Tension in my head makes my brain swell. Got some feeling of relief to fight my pain, to fight my grief. With this writing, my pen is my weapon. Therapy. I like to think we're out there making a difference, and it sounds very cliche, but when you sit side by side with some of these people in some really tough places, and you see where they're coming from, you can't ignore the fact that people need help. If you're in Hubbard House running a class, it's right in your face. We have the new group with the jail, the girls incarcerated, and clearly they need help, and no one's going in. So we're hoping to fill that gap. Our newest group has been funded by Firehouse Subs, and we will be serving the 7 incarcerated teens charged as adults in the pretrial detention facility. We have already met the girls, and they are absolutely delightful. You would never know in a million years that they were incarcerated for the things that they've been charged with. If you took those 7 girls and put them at any table at any mall in America, you would never guess in a million years. So they've asked us for color lessons. They said they have not seen color in years. So we're going to base all of our lessons around therapeutic approaches and color. They said, can you just bring crayons? We haven't seen color in years.
I am not afraid. I am not afraid of being homeless, for I know this temporary setback will eventually change.
The response has been overwhelmingly positive. Wherever we go, they want to know when we're coming back and how often, can we come back more. When we show our program to new agencies, new partner organizations, they can't wait for us to begin. Along with reading poetry and writing poetry, we study books. We participate in book studies. We're using a lot of the John Gordon books. We also sprinkle in the art therapy techniques. We use watercolors and collage and paints and crayons. We also use drum circles, and we do a lot with songs and lyrics to reach the teens. We work with a lot of teens, and we find that the lyrics really connect. By folding in the pop culture, it really connects easily with the middle school and high school students. I really think that part of the reason we connect with the teens so quickly is that 5 out of 6 facilitators working for Hope at Hand are elementary school teachers. And there is a nurturing spirit about elementary teachers that might be different than secondary. And a lot of the teens we work with could really use a lot of nurturing, and maybe they haven't had it in a long time. And they connect very quickly with the elementary teachers. And we were interviewing one of the Pace High School girls. So we asked her, should we continue the poetry group that we're currently running, or should we start a new group? Everybody was thinking that she would want to continue with the group that she was in, but that is not what she said. She said, I think we need to spread this to more people. I think you should start a new group of high school students. And then she said, if you want to teach this to the middle school girls, I would be willing to run the classes. And what she was really doing was she was talking about changing the culture of the school through our lessons of positivity and empowerment and self-esteem. And she really blew us all away. I finished my master's here at UNF in 1996 with intentions of becoming a principal. So I had my degree in ed leadership, and at the last minute decided not to go in that direction. I do think, looking back, that it was a perfect degree because I have the basis in finance, law, ethics, everything I need now to run a business I received in my education. In 2004, I attended a workshop here at UNF. It was through the Kennedy Center for the Arts, Partners in Education, and we learned how to infuse art into the traditional curriculum. My one session with Dr. Stanley, I think 4 hours on an afternoon, has changed the course of my career. From the moment I was in that class, I loved poetry. I had never really taught poetry before, but I started writing poetry all the time. So I began running Poetry Stars for Dr. Stanley. We were meeting with the kids after school, and it was amazing what they would share in this very trusting environment. I moved on to Spring Park Elementary and J.L. Axon Montessori and ran Poetry Stars in both of those schools as well. The last one I ran was at Axon Montessori, and we had 45 parents and children working side by side on the same lessons for 7 weeks. And at the end of those 7 weeks, I was a changed person. I decided at that time that I wanted to take poetry out into the community and find people who really needed it, people who could use some extra help, and they may not be getting the support they need for whatever reason. So we started pushing into the community and finding groups that needed some extra help.
Hope.
Hope is the color of sky blue with big fluffy clouds.
It sounds like birds singing, chirping, stream flowing by.
It feels like a breeze slightly blowing.
It smells like primrose and honeysuckle, sweet clover.
It tastes slightly sweet.
It makes me feel warm and happy, comfortable.
Like I can enjoy life.
Hope.
Bye.